Lamine Yamal steps into McDonald's, looks left, sees Pulisic, looks right, sees Jimenez. Gives a nod to Ronaldinho in the corner with a FIFA World Cup meal. Ronaldinho sees Son in the booth. Son finds Beckham going for extra Big Mac sauce. He's got Davies at the table just behind him. Davies going for his collectible cup. But a steal by Henry, who pulls his own collectible cup. Collect one of 9 legendary cups with a FIFA World Cup meal.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time while supplies last. All rights reserved. 2026 McDonald's at FIFA World Cup 2026.
Pays checkout is offered by your banks and credit unions. So when you shop online at participating merchants, your cards appear in one place. Pays. It checks out. Activation required. See pays.com to learn more. Terms and conditions apply.
Are all batteries the same? That's like asking if all soccer players are the same. Take Messi, the most decorated player ever. Is there any other player who has achieved that? No, just him. Now take Duracell. Is there any other battery with power boost ingredients inside? No, just Duracell. Remember, goats only trust goats because they're built different. And Messi only trusts Duracell.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot stop your new clients from emailing you at 3 a.m. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you be in 3 places at once. And while we can't help you organize your calendar, LinkedIn can help you land more clients so you have a calendar to organize. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another shade of blue. We are the Kansas City Soccer Journal. This show is sponsored by Core Outdoor Equipment. My name is Cody Bradley. I've got Thad Bell, Robert Russert, and Carrie Robinson all here with me. It is Sunday night after the barn burner of Algeria, Austria on Saturday night. I went to bed very, very late, took a nap today. I'm still kind of waking up from that nap, so I'm gotta build the energy here for the podcast. Thad, you were there with me. What time did you get home last night?
Sometime around midnight, a little after midnight. When did I leave there? Because I saw you.
Yeah, it was a bit of a whirlwind. I don't really, at the end of that night, I don't entirely remember. I was like kind of floating after that last goal.
I gave Cindy and her friend a ride back to her car and came in, and I was like, I'm going to go load photos on the computer. And then I said, nope, I'm going to take a nap. And I woke up at 7 in the morning.
That is not a nap. That is just going to bed. Robert, you were not there, or you were working in the middle of the day for this one?
Yeah, I worked until 7, but my wife, I just checked. She texted me at 1:21 a.m. that she had just gotten in the car, leaving the shift at Arrowhead.
Woof. Yeah, so then, late night, 9 p.m. kickoff. There were the questions of like the motivation of the teams, and Algeria, Austria, maybe not as exciting as Argentina and the Netherlands. I was not all the way amped up as I probably should have been for going to a World Cup game on this one, just because of the late night and all of that. And it turned into one of the best nights of the entire World Cup, one of the craziest nights of the World Cup. Carrie, thank you for joining us. I know you're a little under the weather. What were you doing for this game last night? Were you just recovering?
Yeah, I was just recovering. I think I got a little sick from being out in the rain during the Netherlands game.
Worth it.
Yeah, I was watching it at home with my liquid IV and saltine crackers. And I was a little afraid watching this game because it's 9 p.m. and you're like, okay, if this is really going to be a 0-0 draw, because both teams need a draw at least, is it really going to be worth staying up to watch it? And it was.
It was fair to question it. And yeah, so I think right from the start, it looked like they were trying to prove that they were up for this game. They wanted to give the fans a show. And then 4 goals go in, and it did get into a little bit of a lull. Understandably.
A little.
Not in a way that's that was nefarious for a long time. Just, it was a crazy game. Ebbs and flows of sports. You take your foot off the pedal a little bit. So for a while, it was just kind of understandable. No?
It was a lot of pedal off or foot off the pedal. I've
Yeah,
seen
it was.
more active.
But then,
Well, yeah, but then yeah, they needed the crowd. We hit stoppage time, and it was clear. So I don't know what is that? For like 15 minutes prior was the hydration break. At that hydration break, it felt like there were some winks and some secret handshakes that were just like, okay, let's take our foot off the pedal here. Like we're happy with this result. It did get into a lull, but we hit stoppage time and the crowd started booing and whistling a little bit. The crowd got into it because even they dropped the facade. The center backs were just at the middle of the pitch, just kind of passing it back and forth, little dinking and so yeah, the crowd finally starts booing and they continued to do it for another few seconds after that. And then I don't even know if one player decided, no, screw it, we're going to do this now. But somebody made one pass, just one pass, and then pure instincts kicks in on everybody else. One pass, another one touch, and Riyad Mahrez is in there, and a goal has been scored. I didn't know what happened. Austria was asleep, understandably. People had left the stadium. Robert, like that was just. I still am not actually sure what happened. Did the coach yell, "Start trying now," or what happened there?
well, yeah, I don't know. You described it pretty well. It's just like some guy makes this penetrating pass, and they just did what comes naturally. And I think even when the guy scored, he's just like, "Oh, I was just doing what a striker does." Sorry, because the
Yeah,
goalkeeper for
pure
Algeria was
instinct.
like, "What just happened?" or
You
Austria,
put
what
Riyad
just happened?
Mahrez in that
Yeah,
position, he's going to score a goal.
yeah.
So Thad,
Yeah.
you were scoffing at you got very tired of the kicking the ball around. I actually honestly I was just enjoyed at the 4 goals so far and the crowd was singing and I honestly didn't even really notice that it had slowed down so much.
Well, I did. I was like right in front of a bunch of people booing for much longer than a minute or two that you described it, or however you did. It
The
was a
crowd as a
consistent.
whole, yes, there were some boos, but the crowd as a whole started booing at one point, and that was like
Yeah,
91
and it was
minutes, like a
before that.
minute into stoppage. Yeah, yeah, but it was like right at stoppage time is when the
It was
whole
before
crowd
that.
was like, enough of
It
that.
was they were booing for a while, and yeah, they were just passing the ball around. It was about as active as a 7-year-old passing drill, and it was just boring and slow, and nobody was really pressing them until all of a sudden they struck. And after the game, there was 2 Algerians just yelling at each other. So I don't know if they were like, "You just screwed up our agreement. We had to I don't know what happened there, but I'll show you a picture of that later. There were 2 of
No,
them yelling at each other.
the camaraderie after the game was incredible. Everyone got the exact result they wanted. The fans got a show. There was that was beautiful. That was a wonderful night of sports in Kansas City.
So, do you think there would have been a brawl if it had not turned out the way it did?
Maybe.
The Austrian players, there were at least 2 players that just went down to the ground after that goal upon realizing it. And that when you see that, there's no hope left, especially when there's seemingly like 30 seconds left on the clock. It looked like they were entirely defeated. And so actually, so Sperry and Blake and a few of us were not up in the press box for this. I got to the press box, there was nobody there. I don't know what the deal was, but I was in an absolutely empty row in the press box. I saw Sperry and he was like, "Screw it, we're going outside." So we just went outside. We were sitting out there for the game and there was a guy behind us that clearly did the same thing. That was just sitting in a seat but had a laptop with him. He was like part of the Austrian Federation in some way. And he was silent when that one goal went in and we were jumping around in front of him. And that man had an existential moment after that last goal went in. Just absolutely insane, screaming as loud as I've heard a person scream. He just said yes about 50 times in a row. Everyone, like eventually everyone turned and looked like, is that a recording? What's going on? It was yeah, that was insane. And after the Algerian goal, it was it seemed like the game's over, and they had one other opportunity. Like before people had even known the game kicked back off, the Austria had another chance at goal. And yeah, man, genuinely, I will absolutely never forget that game. Two of these World Cup games are going to be burned in my memory forever.
Yeah, now imagine what Iran fans are thinking
Ugh.
when they saw Algeria score. First off, in their because they had a stoppage time goal get ruled off that would have sent them through, and so then they were just banking on a winner from this team, from this game, and they thought they had it, and then they didn't yet
Well,
again.
everyone talks about how, in 3 minutes they were out, they were in, and they were out. But they traded goals
Yeah.
3 times throughout the game. Like, this happened to them 2 other times throughout this game. I feel so bad for Iran. The unfortunate offside call the night before, everything that happened with that, the not letting them into the country for a whole day to play the games. I feel so terrible for Iran, and that is just heartbreak. But sports, man, and that's just what it's all about, right?
The You should see the Austrian goalie after he gave up that third goal. He's like just leaned up against the post with a water bottle in his hand, probably wishing it was whiskey or whatever Austrians drink, and just with such a look of like that 1,000 yards defeated stare, looking at the other end, and then what,
Yeah, so
3
how do
minutes
they
later,
score after that? If that's the mentality, how does a team actually score after that? Insane.
a couple of
Because a
them didn't
sub
have
had
that
just come
mentality.
on.
Yeah.
And
No,
the
yeah,
sub
Robert,
wanted it.
you're exactly right. A guy that had come off the bench 30 seconds prior that just wasn't even part of that, and yeah, that was crazy. Beautiful game.
You said two of those games were like burned into your memory. Which ones were those, and which ones weren't? I feel like all of them are burned in at this point.
Yes, there were 4 World Cup games. I will never forget any of them, but you already know the answer to the question you asked me. Lionel Messi scoring a hat trick in front of my eyes is something I'm never going to forget. The mixed zone with Lautaro and Emmy and Enzo and all those guys walking by me, never forget any of that. That was a night I will never forget.
Okay. I'll say the Netherlands game was pretty great.
Yeah, it was.
Pouring
And I'll
rain.
remember that for a
All of
long
them
time.
have been pretty
Probably
great.
probably never forget that too. You don't need to nibble at that. There were 2 games in particular that were standouts that all
Somebody
right,
setting the saves record for 90-minute game.
I talked to the lady in the elevator about all of this. I was saying this all 4 of these games, I can't believe this is my 4th World Cup game that I am actually getting to attend and getting to attend for free also. And yeah, I'm not taking any of this for granted.
The lady in the elevator, is that like a therapist?
Yes. Yes, she tells jokes. She's probably better than most therapists. Okay. So earlier in that night, I went out to the parking lot before that game because Colombia and Portugal were playing, and I knew that was going to be a party. And they and they actually turned the game off to get people to go inside. They realized if they were playing this game that no one was actually going to go inside, and they kept telling people to do it. So they turned the game off. I had to go in and do that. Go into the press box and watch that one. But yeah, so Ronaldo and Portugal have let us down. Couldn't get that goal against Colombia. We're not going to get Ronaldo in the round of 32. The hope for the dream quarterfinal is gone. No more Messi and Ronaldo in the quarterfinal. But Robert, the watching that game, I was more down on Colombia than I probably should have been. They're not as good in my head as they once were. But they kind of opened my eyes in that performance. That was really fun to watch them. I know it was a 0-0 draw, but they looked very good in that game, and I'm more excited now for Colombia Ghana on Friday than I thought I was going to be.
I think Colombia Ghana is going to be a great match simply
Yeah.
because they're both teams that I think, as you described, people didn't expect a whole lot out of them, but they've got talent. They've got that desire that they're okay. Nobody's taking us as seriously as maybe they should, and we're going to prove it to them. So that's going to be a brawl, I think, here in Kansas City on Friday.
Yeah, there's some the round of 32 is definitely not the round of 16 as it once was. There are a lot of you just got to do this other group stage match against a bad team, and then you're in the real round of 16. But I think that's going to be a really fun game. Colombia
Yeah.
and Ghana. The African teams are having a great tournament. They, like you said, they kind of got a chip on their shoulders. So I'm very much looking forward to Friday, and I just hope I get approved.
Same. They wouldn't let us apply for it until the game last night was decided on who it was going to be.
Right.
Gotcha.
Robert, do you think I don't know why you would know as a volunteer. Do you guys think that so every single thing they have given me and approved me for, I have gone there and gotten my badge scanned. Do you think that bodes well? Do you think they're looking at these stats? Like, look, this person is using everything we give them, and there are all these national people, all these other guys. We approve them, and they don't even show up. They don't go here. Do you think that's helping me? Because I was very consciously doing this all these 4 games.
I would say yes. I mean, I do have some experience in that, Cody. But yeah, definitely. I think they look at those things for sure.
Yeah.
You don't think so?
Yeah, I don't think so either. To be
I
honest
think
with
they
I
you.
mean, you have to get scanned to go from one space to a next anyway. So it's yes, they see that you're there. But if there's like a ESPN person that wants to be there and they say, well, it's between this ESPN guy and Cody,
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's an extreme situation. Come on.
is it?
Yeah,
and
it
I
is.
mean Cody, like they know my name. Not and if it's versus that guy and the local blog and podcast. Yeah, the local blog and
Right.
podcast is getting the boot.
And I'm in the same boat. I mean, like if that's why I was in the Tribune up in the stands in the third deck for the Netherlands game,
Sure.
is because there was enough photographers that officially were granted that game, whether they showed up or not. Because I think some of them went, it sucks, and they left. But
And you were on the ground for this one? You were on field
yeah,
level?
I was kind of almost directly across from the Algeria bench. I tried to
Nice.
be as close to the middle as I could with the way they let you choose seats. And so it was kind of fun being there. And then when all the photographers went to go over to try to get the team photos, I stayed on the other side, went to the middle, and tried to get players walking out of the tunnel.
Mm.
So just want to do something different.
Okay, so another great game for Kansas City, showing out so far in this World Cup, I think.
Including all
Yeah.
4 host teams or teams that we're hosting go through as well.
Right.
Heck yes. That's really
We can't get
fun.
blamed. It's not our fault.
Something in the water.
We gave them a good home. Yeah, undeniable.
Hey, barbecue is good for soccer.
Okay, so the quarterfinal still potential to get Messi back. Looks like maybe Colombia, Argentina is what that one might be. How about let's do this? Let's do the core moment of the World Cup so far for our sponsor, Core Outdoor Equipment. Carrie, you through your scratchy voice, what has been your core moment of this World Cup so far? The Banderazzo with Argentina, the game with the Netherlands. What was it?
I think it was probably the Ecuador Curacao game.
Okay.
I think that I don't know. So I went with my dad and my sisters and one of their husbands, and I think that was for that being our first World Cup game. It was so much fun because like you were hoping and you were like you're really rooting for Curacao despite having an Ecuador jersey on and having my face painted in Ecuador colors. You were
Yeah.
like, I really hope this guy makes it. This is what USL League 1 player.
Miami FC.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a beautiful game. Carrie, you know ball. If you're saying your favorite moment of the World Cup is a 0-0 draw, that means you know ball.
And we were talking about that when my mom picked us up because we kind of found this drop-off spot since they live in Independence. And so my mom was like, what a lousy game. And me and my sister was like, no, this was so good. Like, you just don't know ball, Linda.
That's right. Robert, what about you?
Well, there's so many things I could choose from, but I'm going to pick one that was just kind of unique to my experience. Just after that game, the players wheeling on a boombox onto the field afterwards to dance with the fans and play their music. That was like something I had never seen before. So I've got to pick that.
Thad Bell.
I probably mentioned it in one of the other pods, but it was getting to go to a World Cup game with my daughter.
Of
sit in the
course.
stands. It was the Argentina game. Got to see history, got to see Messi score, got to do it with my daughter who bought the tickets and just wanted to go with her dad. So that is the most special moment in the World Cup could ever possibly be at this point, possibly short of me being at the US winning the final. But so yeah, pretty cool.
Beautiful. Mine would be I'll just not say that third goal going in for Messi in the first Argentina game. I'll say the one last night. The stars kind of aligned last night. I was outside among the fans, and it was a particularly good environment because I think the fans were kind of split. The support of the fans was more split than the other games. It was all Argentina, it was all Ecuador, and it was all Netherlands. This was, dueling songs and chants the whole night. There was a camaraderie in the stands. Thad said he almost saw a fight, but like before that, when they were tied, it was all great and everyone was friends. After the game, they were all friends. And so yeah, being outside, uh not having to follow the same decorum and rules that we had. I was kind of with people I've enjoyed watching other games with, and so it was a bit more of a fan experience I got out of it. And that the Austria goal going in, I like the Algeria goal going in. I hadn't fully processed what had happened yet, and another absolutely insane thing went in. Seeing the net bulge after that header and all the red go crazy and then run into the corner. I'll never forget that one. That's my core moment. Who would have thought that game out of all of these? I just yeah, that was as a fan in the press box, you don't get to be jumping up and down and exclaiming, and I did on that one. So that was just a very memorable night with some people I call friends that are colleagues. So yeah, great night.
And more to come.
I
More to
have
hopefully.
I have a core moment that's not a World Cup game, and I think
What do
that
you got?
is the orange, Kansas City parade.
Mm,
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely insane.
I took a page out of, Shannon Bell's book and bought tickets for
It's a
me
good
and my
book.
dad. Yeah. Bought tickets for me and my dad to go see the Netherlands game because he kinda became a Dutch fan after meeting the Orange Suit Man. Um
Yeah.
And so then we were like, "All right, if we're gonna do this, let's do it properly." So he met me down where this one spot that we always watch, like, the 3 Super Bowl parades, the World Series parade, and now we saw an orange march there.
Well, what was the spot? Where's your spot at? Or is it secret? You don't want us
Don't
to know.
tell them.
I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh,
Not
okay.
You
on the
can't
pod.
steal my
Alright.
spot.
Just tell me after the pod.
I just
So I think
left
it's kind
work.
of funny. The first estimation was what, 22,000, and the next one I saw was like 36,000. So
Yeah.
who knows? But yeah, it
Yeah.
was awesome.
It was a lot of orange.
Yeah.
No, whichever number it was.
You could see it, like so my dad and I planned on meeting there at 11:30 because it's farther away from, Power and Light, and they said they were gonna start at Power and Light at 11:15. So I get there at 11:30, and I can see, like, the hue of orange coming our way. I'm so calling my dad, and I'm like, "Dad, you gotta get here, like,
It's
sooner.
happening right
Like,
now.
start running." And so he's babysitting my niece, and so I just see him coming down around the hill, full blast with a stroller.
That's great. You gotta do what you gotta do. One thing I liked about that is what if there were 36,000 people there? 20,000 of them were Kansas Cityans.
And they were still working that day.
Or not,
Yeah.
maybe not Kansas Cityans,
Me.
but like Americans in town to watch this game because this is a really fun team and fun culture that has drawn people for the last decade or so.
Yeah, I've known a lot of people are pulling orange shirts out of the bottom of their closet because,
Yeah.
like, they were given for something, and they're like, "Oh, I have an orange shirt from a grocery store giveaway or something," and they're like pulling those out just so they can wear orange for that.
That was a beautiful day. Proud of my city for that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think Kansas City. I mean, I think a lot of places in America can be proud of how they've done, but very proud of Kansas City. Everything's went really well. Somewhat exception to buses on the first game, and even that I had a very
Not
great
just the first
experience.
game.
Robert, be quiet.
The other 3 games were better.
Much better,
And
yeah.
incrementally better too.
Yeah.
That 4th one I got in, I swear, in like 25 minutes from my house. So
But very few problems other than some busing. It just everybody has been gotten along really well. I've heard nothing but positive about fan fests, and I don't go to them because I don't usually like crowds that much. But everybody that I've talked to has been pretty happy with all of that. So
okay,
yay.
let's go to break. KC showing out.
Comcast is delivering extraordinary experiences in live sports. Through the incredible broadcast and storytelling from NBC, innovative and personalized viewing features on Xfinity and Peacock, and the country's most reliable Wi-Fi, viewers can enjoy every game-changing play faster and more seamlessly than ever. All on a network built to deliver unforgettable moments as close to live as possible. The ultimate experience for the American sports fan. Learn more at ComcastCorporation.com/sports.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
This episode is brought to you by Tidy Cats, here to level up your litter game with their new Performance Plus lineup. Your home is your happy place, your cats, VIPs. So when it comes to the litter box, excellence isn't optional. Choose from products that specialize in max power clumping, low tracking, or odor fighting so advanced, stink won't see it coming. Tidy Cats Performance Plus. Mission mighty, keep it tidy. Shop now at tidycats.com.
This summer, soccer is here, and so are the watch parties. And Uber Eats has your game day essentials covered with 30% off orders from Aldi, Kroger, and Dollar General. Everything you need to keep your crowd happy, delivered straight to your door. Chips, dips, fresh ingredients, and more. Order in so you can lock in for the games. 30% off your grocery order, only on Uber Eats for a limited time.
All right. Let's talk some Sporting Kansas City. Thad, what do you think about that?
Yeah, we do need to talk about them, don't we?
Yeah, they signed a player. The
They
acquisitions have begun. I see how I'm manifesting the acquisitions, plural. A wave of them has begun with Amir Karic. Do I say that right?
Sure.
Karic?
Might be
Karic?
Carrick. Might be Carrick.
Amir.
No. Pulisic says his name wrong. It should be Pulisic.
Ah, okay. Whatever.
He gets to say how he wants to say his own name, just like Turkey gets to say how they want to say their name.
Okay, so Robert, it's official now. 29-year-old left back is what he's likely to play. Bundesliga, Europa League experience, 2 Champions League qualifiers in there also last year. He appeared for Bosnia and Herzegovina, funnily enough. One time last year, didn't make the squad, but one appearance there. What do you think of this signing?
Well, the question here is he ready to be like a veteran leader? Because his age, 29, and his experience kind of makes him that veteran leader. So from day one, he better be leading this team, to the playoffs.
Yeah, I think there's others that can lead the team. He needs to come in and just perform at this point. Or Blorian, who just showed up and has played the 2 friendlies, one with England and one with Des Moines. What a difference there. He's going to be looked to be a leader because of his experience and position and all that stuff too. So, and then you got the people that are already there. But yeah, he is one of the older guys, so he is a veteran presence at least in that regard.
All he has to do is be better than slightly mediocre.
There you go. There's an improvement. Well, but then we're gonna find out how much he got paid, and then that might change our expectations for him.
Well, Jaden Reed, hasn't been terrible. Of course,
Nope.
not great. Basong has played there a little bit left back, so this probably solidifies Basong in the midfield for now. We'll see what acquisitions come. So, we're improving in the back line, so that's a good thing.
At least giving more options too, because that was
Right.
part of Wiki's problem was half the time that he was having to cobble together a back line,
Uh-huh.
and when you had Kwaku essentially playing left back, that he's not a defender by any means. Yeah, he just had to scramble to put together a back line at all. So More
Thad,
experience.
you mentioned the England game or that England scrimmage.
Yeah.
Harry Kane said we scored off a free kick. Do you know who scored that?
No. I somebody was asking and they said, was it, this person, this person, this person? And they threw in like a joke person. They said, it's somebody you would expect to score off of a free kick. I don't know who that was. So
Shoppy.
Yeah. Well, what does that say? What
Maybe.
does that say about the team or the fans that they say, "Oh, you know who would score off a free kick on this team," and we're all like, who exactly?"
I mean, who takes most of the free kicks now?
Manu,
Well,
maybe.
I'm just gonna. I think the only answer there would be Decky. Like it has to be Dayon. If it's someone you expect to score a goal, then it was probably Dayon. I think that's the only answer.
I don't know. Because I do think Manu's a possibility there.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Lasse?
Is that? Do we expect that? I don't, I don't know
Right.
about that.
I'm not sure I expected anybody to score off a free kick against England, but I'll take it.
If it means we got a goal, it means we got a goal.
All right. Yeah.
Well,
Against
maybe
England.
their
Against
goalie
England.
was going the wrong way and he just saw it go around the wall and he just looked at it. I mean, maybe.
It's still a goal. I mean,
Like
it
the
counts.
Jordan keeper? Was that the reference you were making there? The Jordan
Yes, it
keeper?
was. Yeah.
God, both of those free kicks. What was he doing? Ugly.
There's been some bad goalieing in this World Cup too.
Yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts for Sporting KC before we move on?
No, just hope that we see more signings showing up. And again, with Amir, we don't know when he'll be able to play or officially practice because he's still got to wait on his P1 visa. Last thing we heard. I don't know if that's changed yet, but usually it takes a little while. And I don't know. Maybe during the World Cup it's easier. Probably not.
Okay. Keep it coming, David Lee. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs. So you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Do you hear that? Sounds like breakfast is ready. Because Quaker's coming in hot with morning nutrition. 100% whole grain oats and a good source of fiber to fuel the rhythm of your morning and kickstart your day. And that sounds absolutely delicious. Fuel to start whatever's next. Quaker, official sponsor of FIFA World Cup 26.
Get business done with the new American Express Graphite Business Cash Unlimited card. With unlimited 2% cash back on all eligible purchases, unlimited 5% cash back on flights and prepaid hotels booked through American Express Travel Online, and a flexible spending capacity that can grow with your business, you'll have the confidence to keep building. Apply today and earn a welcome offer of $1,500 cash back after you spend $50,000 in qualifying purchases on your new card within the first 6 months of card membership. Terms apply. Learn more at go.amex/graphite.
AI is moving fast across the enterprise. But without visibility, it's just chaos. Different tools, different models, different teams using AI in completely different ways. ServiceNow turns that chaos into control. With the AI Control Tower, you see all your AI across the business in one place. What it's doing, what it's done, and what it's about to do. So you stay in control. To put AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com.
All right. Actual league soccer is about to start. The Current got back in action, Thad. What happened there?
They lost.
Your favorite team. You love talking, but they make you happy. They just bring a smile to your face these days, the Kansas City Current.
Technically,
They
they're
lost.
not back in league.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh.
No, this is
No.
a fun
Challenge
little
Cup.
challenge cup.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Shield
bad.
winner versus actual winner.
So they got to lose to Gotham again, and it was Current has now won one of 6 opportunities to play away from home. Of course, again, to be fair, 3 of them was that really bad road trip when nobody was healthy and it was all on turf and it was all in 7 days and all that stuff. But still, it's a bad-looking stat. And this one was in Ohio, where the first ever professional women's soccer game took place.
Why'd you say it like that? Why'd you say it like that, like a robot?
Because I get to hear the first ever professional women's something like pretty frequently
Yeah,
in
that happens a lot.
announcements and emails and whatnot. But anyway, they played Gotham in Columbus because Ohio will get a expansion NWSL team in 2028, I believe. So they played there as an exhibition. 12,000 people showed up in the rain. Current were not very effective, and Gotham was. So 2-0 loss.
Thad, you're
There you go.
very down on the Current these days. I wrote on our rundown here, I just wrote that the Current were back in action, and Thad added to it losers.
No, I just was writing lost. I think that was a spell correction.
Okay.
You're probably right, Dad. Thank you.
They are back in action on the 3rd, July 3rd. Can't believe it's July already.
Not
and
quite.
It's not.
Okay, well, it will be in 5 days. So, well, it will be past. What I mean to
When
say is
people are listening, it'll
we're
be
playing
July.
we're playing a game in 5 days, and it will be July 3rd.
Yes. You're
Thank
correct.
you. Thank you. And that will be in Denver for the first time playing Denver Summit. And that means that Chris Armas is playing back in Dick's Sporting Goods Field because they moved the venue to that. So,
He will fondly remember that.
and hopefully he doesn't go back to his old ways.
Hopefully he doesn't go back to his old ways.
Familiar ways, maybe.
Anyway, July 3rd's not a good day to be
No.
watching that because hopefully we'll be credentialed someplace else.
Yeah, it's a big soccer day in the world, July
Yeah.
3rd.
And I get why they did the Challenge Cup during the World Cup break because they do that stuff during, like the Teal Rising Cup was during the international break and things like that. But there was just so little attention on it because there was a World Cup going on. Just not a lot of attention for some stuff like that right now.
Okay. Thad, I'll stop nibbling at you to try to get you to talk about the Current the way you do when we're not on the air.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. Seriously.
This is just how he is.
Okay, how about we move on to something that will get Thad happy and excited? Let's talk about the U.S. men's national team playing in a round of 32 on Wednesday against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Can't believe we have to play 2 countries. How unfair is that? I still think that they can take both of those countries on. I'm feeling very good about this, Thad. Here's where I want to start this conversation with you. You got very mad at Tim Howard. You said you were done with Tim Howard after he said it was impossible for the U.S. to win the
I've been done with
World
Tim
Cup.
Howard since he became an asshole at Children's Mercy Park and caused us to have to go through a different tunnel because he got into a conflict with a fan that had nothing to do with photographers and didn't have anything to do with the tunnel that we were going in or out of.
A conflict. Allegedly grabbed a fan who yelled in his face. Did that actually spark a change in the stadium? Did we separate? Did they do anything to
Yes.
separate fans from there? Yeah, okay. To be fair, the guy got in his face and yelled at him like right in a tunnel. That's in England. You can't do that. It's surprised Tim. Okay, he didn't react very well.
Is that the way you heard it?
Is that not
Revisionist history?
That a fan like in the tunnel was right in his face because we allow them to be so close and yelled.
Well, he was
shit in his
close
face?
to him, but he said something to him, but I don't think it was the fan that got in Tim's face from what I remember seeing.
Well, yeah, he yelled something and then Tim got in his face, but
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit different.
Yelled in his face is the point I'm making about how close that the U.S. allows fans to be to the players is all I was getting at. Anyway, you were done with Tim Howard, mad at him for saying it was impossible for the U.S. national team to win the World Cup. And then the other day, maybe yesterday, he guaranteed a win against Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Well, it's not because I forget the exact wording, but he basically said they had to play 4 best games of their lives in order to win the World Cup, and he's not necessarily wrong. So maybe he doesn't think the game against Bosnia and Herzegovina would be a game of their life in order to be able to win that. So I don't think he's necessarily inconsistent.
No, but my thing is, how do you go from saying things like that about we're never going to win a World Cup to giving another team poster board material about how terrible another team is and how great we are? Robert, we can't be doing this. We can't be giving Bosnia poster board material.
Yeah, you don't give no team poster board material at this point. Bosnia is a team that will fight you in a back alley no matter
Yes.
what anyway, so you don't want to aggravate them.
Yeah, like Australia. Who was it? The analyst that gave Australia basically bulletin
Right.
board material saying that they
Mike
can't compete.
Grellia, I think is who that was.
Yeah.
But Cody, can you point out Bosnia and Herzegovina on a map? Do you know what I'm
Well,
talking about?
they're two different countries, so you have to have two different fingers.
Do you know what I'm referring to?
Oh, no, that's a specific thing?
Yes.
I
There
don't.
was an LA news
Oh,
anchor
yes. But
who
see,
was
okay, yeah,
like trying to
tell that
get
story.
I don't know. She was like talking about the USMNT moving on to playing Bosnian Herzegovina. Yes.
Nailed it.
Go be.
Nailed it.
I got it the first time. And then she was like, I can't even point them out on a map. And then she like said all this other stuff, and she had an issue an apology.
Yeah, a local news anchor that's not all the way into soccer and sports necessarily.
Or news or geography or learning or history or okay.
Unintentional did an American thing of kind of unintentionally dismissing them as a country that doesn't matter and all of that. Yeah, okay. She did. She apologized. Okay. That doesn't count as poster board material. That's just a dumb person said something dumb. If Bosnia wants to put this local anchor that doesn't know what she's talking about on their poster board, I don't feel bad about that one. People will say dumb things. But Tim Howard, come on, man.
He's been on the other end of this. I mean, I'm sure he would have guaranteed a win in Trinidad at some point.
I'm confident, but there's no guaranteed win. Teams like this, the like second and third tier teams in Europe, they all just do these things that are like best practices. They put the ball in dangerous spots. They're where a better team would say, let's pass the ball around and get a better shot. They'll just have some big, strong MFer drop a hammer through it and challenge the keeper from a distance and hope that it spills a rebound or hope that it goes out for a corner. And then you bring all your big bodies in the box and just put a ball in front of the goal. That's just, there's nothing amazingly tactical about it. It's all very simple and straightforward. And it's just good rules of thumb of how to make things happen. And if the team is not all buttoned up and if Matt Freese is not parrying away all of these shots properly, then, anything could happen. So there's no way in my head I'm guaranteeing a win for the U.S. national team against a European team when it's been like 15 games and they've actually beaten a team from Europe.
Yeah, Bosnia is 64th ranked in the world. U.S. is 17th. They should win. There's a big difference between should and guarantee. U.S. should win that game. But we've seen, even in this World Cup, lower teams either draw or beat higher ranked teams. And when it comes to a knockout, all they got to do is keep it level and get lucky in penalties.
Imagine if Cape Verde knocks off Argentina. My Lord.
Oh, I'd love it. I mean,
that'd be crazy.
Well, speaking of scratching out a draw and then seeing what happens in PKs, that's the 3 straight draws. They know how to earn a point and extend the game.
So good for them. But they should win. That doesn't mean they will. And Tim Howard is. That's why I will argue against like the hot take thing, because I think like he's trying to learn to be a hot take guy, and he's not good at it.
He's the most boring analyst of my lifetime. He speaks in a monotone.
Yes.
Every time he's on a panel, I'm just like, why are we like the Belgium game and the 16 saves bought him like 10 years on my television of being boring. But we're getting to a certain point here, Tim. Like go like you
It's
need to
been
be
10
more
years.
exciting. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Your 10
Like,
years is up.
Well,
I
there
mean,
was
him and Landon Donovan have a podcast, right? And they know what they're talking about, for the most part, of course. But
well, he's
yeah, it
better
is
on that
probably the most
podcast.
dull podcast that I've ever listened to.
It is
Yeah.
dull because Landon's not exactly like a
Yeah.
massive personality himself, but they're both better on that, being around a friend and more relaxed than Tim Howard in the booth or like at halftime of a Premier League game doing analysis. Like it's like he's trying to put you asleep when he's doing it.
Hey, I almost mentioned this whole Zlatan thing for a core moment with the World Cup, but he has been fun to listen to, and his commercials are
Yeah.
actually kind of funny that he's on. So
his
Yeah,
commercials are funny.
yeah,
Yeah, Zlatan and Thierry Henry together. That's been a great combo.
Yeah, it's like he's like trying to make us like him.
he's going
Something
to be
he's
president.
never
And it's
cared about.
working.
Yeah. All right, Carrie. So you're still vibing. You're still very confident about Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Yeah, well, the USA versus them, yes. I'm
Right.
flying high.
Okay.
We had
Nice.
a B team out. It was nice to sit on the couch after the Tunisia Netherlands game and just watch the US men's play. And yes, it
Yeah.
was a heartbreaker, but it didn't mean anything.
Right.
So it was just nice to enjoy a moment where nothing really mattered to that team.
It was interesting that people like, oh, they've got to win this, they got to do this, they got to keep up momentum, they got to get these guys time, and then people like, oh, it doesn't matter. It was going back and forth so much with different people who are expert analysts, and it came down to Poach did what he wanted, kept people safe, got
Yeah.
Pulisic a few minutes of time, and guys who won't be out there in a meaningful game gave up a goal in stoppage time.
Okay, so we have to talk about it. I'm sorry, but Gio Reyna was terrible. He was bad.
Yeah, didn't do what
He
he
played more than
was.
15 minutes. He's bad.
Yeah, exactly. That's the magic with Gio, I think.
Yeah, I mean, did anybody really look good for the US in that game?
Pulisic looked good.
In his brief moment,
Yeah,
Pulisic,
no, yeah.
Pulisic did look good. If anything, I thought that it was the backup players. It was individual players not meeting the moment. It was very clear to me that especially when you bring on Pulisic and what he did to that game, it just seemed very clear that our best team is better than that Turkey A team. So I left that game feeling fine.
It was a little disappointing to see Tim Weah not perform well.
Yeah.
So that was disappointing. But Brendan Aronson, he's always been to me a
Oh.
whole lot of smoke, just not much fire. I mean, he can get the ball in good places, but then there's nothing end product wise.
Yeah, that sucked to see Brendan Aronson faltering so much there. Did not have it that day. I've always liked him, but yeah, he looked like he was not ready for the moment kind of thing.
Well, none of them really looked ready for the moment because they are backups. They are second team guys. They're all guys who, if they're out there with 10 of the first team-ish guys,
Sure.
they're probably really good. And Aronson has always been more of a effort guy than a final
Yeah.
product guy.
Yeah.
And he runs around and he does a lot of things, and sometimes he gets a good pass in, but he doesn't finish a lot for the national team. He does okay. But Berhalter was not bad.
Yeah.
He
It's been
was
really funny to see the discourse on Berhalter because everyone's like, all right, he's too trash for the A team, but he's so much better than like the B team.
yeah.
Been a good tournament for Berhalter.
He's the better of the Nepo babies.
He's already headed to Darby County, sorry.
So
That's right.
yeah. But, I
Okay.
mean, he's one of the guys I liked anyway, and I thought he was deserving to be there. And he is a very viable sub and backup. So
Okay, you guys got big plans for Wednesday to watch that game?
Gonna go
I'm
to
too nervous.
Sporting Park.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be cool. For games like this, I think I've said this before on the podcast. Certain games I need to not be around a massive crowd. The Australia game, I was confident. I felt like I could go to that game and be around some Australians and not have my world collapse. But yeah, I don't. For this one, I might just be like tucked in my home, pacing around my TV.
Yeah, FanFest isn't open for it because they had to.
Right.
They would have to get volunteers and police and everything. Just so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will be at home, and I know daughter is making sure that she is off work so she can come watch it. And my question is, we always try to make some kind of Americanish food when we when we have an opportunity to do it. Hamburgers or brats or something. So I don't know what we'll do, but it'll be something like that.
Well, I think you just listed all of the American foods right there. And
Well,
you said two
barbecue.
things.
Barbecue, fried
barbecue's this year.
chicken. There's more than just two.
Okay.
Carrie, what are you doing for the match?
Depending on how I feel, probably stay at home if I still feel bad. But I did plan on going out to hang out with friends, probably at a local bar.
Which she won't tell us the location because it's secret.
Yeah. At a secret location.
I don't know which bar yet.
At a quote unquote local bar. Unnamed local bar.
It will probably be like KC Beer Co. Or I'll like walk like 10 minutes away to my actual like neighborhood bar, something good. Which I did have to. There was a bunch of Austrians there on Friday, so it was really fun to like see them because they were very confused about when they got their check for paying their tab. They were like, "Why do I have to sign this?"
Yeah.
Well, hey, one little moment I thought was pretty cool about World Cup is even little town of Oak Grove, which is where I work at the bank branch there. There's this little coffee shop. There's a scooters, closer to the highway. This little coffee shop. The owner came in the other day and said, "Yeah, I've had people from the Netherlands come in. I've had people from Ecuador come in. So it's even impacting some little shops like that, which I think is pretty cool."
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Local
Yeah.
businesses.
So on a breaking news, really not that big of breaking news, but just got email from FIFA. Record-breaking attendance reaches 4.6 million across the first 72 matches.
All right.
Nice. Cody, did we want to talk about a certain Polish striker?
Oh yeah. Lewandowski coming to Chicago. That was official today, I believe, right?
Yes. 2-year contract. What is he, 39 now? Good Lord.
39 coming from Barcelona to the Chicago Fire.
Be good for that
Interesting.
Polish population there. There's a big one.
Yeah. How much longer has he got?
I don't know, but his goals dropped, like the production dropped heavily this past year for them. So I don't know. We'll see. But he's one of those guys, the IQ and the know-how. He'll bang in some goals.
Sure.
He's gonna bang in some goals.
Yeah. I mean, he's because you said he's 37?
9.
39?
Yeah, I mean that's what Messi is now, but
I
He's not
don't
Messi.
have much confidence that he's gonna be able to like transfer too much over immediately. Kind of what we're saying with Son and LAFC, which he had a good
Yeah.
end of last season. But it really sucks that we had to play them already because instead of getting beat like 5-0 in Chicago, it could have only been like 4-0 with him on the field.
So, okay, watching the match today, I assume you guys watched Canada today?
Yeah.
Should I feel bad for wanting
Yeah.
Canada to lose?
No.
No.
I kind
Okay,
of did
good.
too. I kind of did too, especially after Robert. Did you see this at halftime? So they wanted a penalty or a bad call at some point, and Jesse Marsh is stomping out there to
Yeah.
the middle of the field to have a confrontation with the referees, and one of his teammates had to pull him back and say, "Bro, chill out. Go to the locker room. Get a hold of yourself." Jesse Marsh,
Do you
what are
see
you
him on the
doing, buddy?
sideline in general anyway, Cody? He's a
Yeah.
madman.
But
He
that's
is a
what I'm
madman.
saying. Like, get a hold
Yeah.
of yourself, man. Like, that's such an embarrassing look that one of your players had to do it. Ugh.
I mean, I would
Ridiculous.
typically root against Canada anyway, just because they have been somewhat rivals over the years. And Jesse Marsh is making me dislike them even more. I would have rooted for Basong if he was there, but I would have rooted for him to do well and Canada to lose.
Yeah.
Felt
Kind of
really
cool, I
limped
guess, that
into the finish
Esquido
there.
from LAFC scored the winner. That was kind of cool, I guess. But
It was not a fun game to watch, especially as for a hate watch. It was not exciting at all.
No, it wasn't. Okay. let's wrap up here. Carrie, to answer your question earlier, could I point Bosnia and Herzegovina out on a map? I'm confident that I could get very close. It borders Croatia, yeah? Do I have that right? Okay, went out on a limb there. I could find it. I could do it on a map. Not bad at geography, surprisingly. Okay, Wednesday night, USA versus 2 countries. I'm feeling very confident. What do you got, Robert?
Will we have a U.S. men's national team pod coming out later this week as well before that?
I think so. We're working on one for tomorrow night, yeah? I think we're going to try to lay down one tomorrow night, dive into that game and the tactics of that game maybe a little more than we have here. So, look out for that one. We'll talk to you soon. Sport Egg!
Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. The other side don't seem so tough. And 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin. Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking.